Guys, in a flooded sneaker market, you already know that the big brands really stand the test of time and really make it hard for smaller brands to come in. But today we're looking at a smaller brand that's been around for about 2 years, and they actually are making some noise. So much so, their sneakers are even featured on StockX. And the sneakers we're looking at today are the Notwoways Just White. Let's go ahead and get into them. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Mike from sneakerhistory.com, and we are back with another video. Guys, thank you so much for joining. I really do appreciate you. If you hadn't done so already, hit the subscribe button down below. But just like I mentioned in the intro, we're looking at a sneaker from the brand Notwoways. Now, Notwoways is a East London-based sneaker brand that has been brought to us by two individuals, one named Caleb McGinley, who is also known as Kalux on YouTube, who actually I wasn't familiar with until doing my research on the brand, who's pretty big in the YouTube world with a very large subscriber base. So really cool to see a content creator get into, you know, a bigger project like creating a sneaker. And also you're gonna have the designer of the two, whose name is Rockwell Princely, who's the mind behind the design of the sneaker. Now, this brand, as I mentioned before, has been around for about 2 years now, if I'm not mistaken, and they have actually been making a little noise. Now, the brand actually reached out to me about a week or two ago asking if I wanted to check out one of their shoes, and I didn't really know too much about it. And not to say I hadn't seen them, but I just didn't know the backstory. I've seen people like Seth Fowler, Sean Go, Elliot Page, just to name a couple of individuals who actually did some reviews on the sneakers, and I thought they looked cool, but I just didn't really dive deep into how to get them. I've heard that they're very limited in some capacities, and when they get released on their website, they go just like that, which is really cool for a small brand to see that kind of traction. And again, I put a picture up here. I was able to find their sneakers on StockX. I really want to see not necessarily the resale value, but how popular are these shoes? And it seems like they've actually done a great job at getting them out there to the public. Now, I showed the shoe in the intro. Let's get it back to the screen here. The sneaker they were able to send me is going to be their Just White colorway that is going to be coming up here on July 9th. So I am trying to get this video out to you guys before July 9th, so you're able to get a view of it before that order, or before the sneakers go live, which you're going to be able to get on their website, which I'll drop a link down below for everybody. But I have to say, initial thoughts about the sneaker are just quality, and it gives me a few different kind of thoughts of designer, chunky, and trail, all put together into a really nice package that is done very well, especially for an independent brand. Now we're going to take a step back from the sneaker real fast to show you the packaging, which it's done very well, very simple, and it gets the job done. You're gonna have, matching the shoe, you're gonna have the Just White box here, all done in a high gloss. You're gonna have the Notwoways branding here, which is probably hard to see because it's such a very high gloss white. You're gonna have a little bit of striping on the side, done in that same white, but it's embossed. But you're gonna also have some orange branding on the back. This gives you a little QR code to get to the site. You're gonna have the Notwoways logo and the website information, along with the signatures of both Kalux, and you're gonna have the signatures of Rockwell here as well, done in orange. So it's really cool. They've done a very good job with their packaging. And getting into that, you're gonna even have the paper, which has a Notwoways branding going all throughout the paper. So they didn't cheap out on the packaging, which says a lot, because a lot of times you get to these independent brands, they can only do one or the other. And we're going to talk about the price point of the sneaker in a little bit, but just keep in mind that they don't make it hard to enter this sneaker. It's not a high barrier to entry because there are a lot of people who have an independent sneaker, which is not a bad thing. They're just really expensive because you know, some of their resources are maybe a little bit more limited. But this brand makes it to where it is affordable to get into the sneaker if it's something you like. And of course, we're gonna have our size tag here. I'm sorry I didn't show that, but it's gonna be done in the orange and white and has the Notwoways branding, designed in London, UK 9, US 10. And of course, it's gonna have the color of Pure White, London Cloud, Essential Gray, and Arctic White. So that is clearly the color of the shoe. It's called the Just White. And there's gonna be a lot more to the shoe that we're gonna read about here in a second, actually directly from Rockwell's Instagram account. But getting to the sneaker itself, I was very impressed about the construction and the materials used, because I was expecting, you know, I didn't know what to expect actually. I've heard good things about the sneaker, but I never had them in the hand, so I was really going in here blind. I was really interested to see what they had to say, what they had to, you know, really put out there, because again, it's an independent brand. They're really getting their feet wet, which I can appreciate, because that is such a huge endeavor to get into the sneaker game and then actually have a good shoe. So they're doing some great things. Now let me go ahead and read this excerpt right here from Rockwell's Instagram page that pulled up, and it goes, let me introduce you to the Just White, which here we have right here. A white pair of shoes and a must for any summer rotation, but we purposely waited until it was just right. One that's made to last, one that can easily be cleaned as well. As some of you know, my shoe collection goes way back, but there are 4 shoes in my opinion, specifically Jordan 1s I own, where the leather used just stand out from the rest. Jordan 1 Shattered Backboard 1 Pudos, AJ1 Dior's, Jordan 1 Pinnacles, and OGs from '85. Now, these in my opinion are the true leather sneaker benchmarks, a combination of durability, butteriness, and how it molds to your foot and how it ages beautifully. Now, by overanalyzing these shoes, we're working with their suppliers to match these, whilst being able to hybrid tan them is a real challenge. Now, really just kind of stopping there, you see what the task was. Make a shoe where the leather spoke for itself. And I have to say, they did. They did. And yes, they did send me the sneaker, but I'm gonna give you my honest opinion. They did a heck of a job. This leather is very nice. Again, like I've always been doing, trying to give you guys a better shot on a B-roll so you get closer, looks at it, see everything I'm talking about. Guys, look at this. It's a very soft leather, but if you're able to see, again, I'm gonna get better shots, thick cuts of leather as well. And it just, the layers, although it's an all white shoe, the layers give it just this look, this, you know, that differentiates itself from something like an all white Air Force One. That looks very plain to me, or all white Dunk that looks very plain to me. Now, going in the front of the shoe, we're gonna look at our mud guard. Again, done in our white leather, right? Nice, thick, soft cuts. We're gonna be done in a smooth leather, but as you get towards the top of the toe box, you're gonna have perforated leather that's gonna get you to our eyelets. We're just gonna have a piece of TPU plastic done up for the first 2 eyelets at the bottom. Brings you up through this kind of ribbon eyelet system, which is kind of cool. I hadn't seen anything like that, where the shoestrings weave in and out of this particular ribbon that you see here that's also done in white. Now the tongue is going to be looks like kind of a semi-open cell mesh that's going to get into a nylon. At the top, we're going to have an asymmetrical Notwoways logo, which I like the placement of that. Very cool to me. And the shoelaces are very, very unique. It is a very thick cut rope lace. A lot of times you only see that, I feel like, on like custom sneakers, but you have these really nice aglets that are going to be done in metal with the Notwoways branding on it. But if you're maybe more traditionally want a very smaller lace, they actually do offer a second option in the box here. There's going to be a skinnier rope lace that is going to be available just in case you want to switch them out. Again, still done in that same nice white with the metal aglets as well. Now getting to the sides of the shoe, both the lateral and medial. The lateral is going to have that same combination of both flat or smooth and perforated leather. Also both all very nice, with the Notwoways branding pressed onto the side on the lateral. You're gonna have this kind of nylon strip that goes through the shoe that kind of gives you, again, an extra layer right through the side here, and it's gonna bring it around to the lateral side and medial side and bring it meet in the back. It has kind of a pull tab effect. I don't know if I would necessarily pull that because I don't want to, because it seems to be stitched on there, so I don't want to rip anything off. I think it's more of a design aspect, because you are going to have kind of this rubberized TPU pull tab that seems pretty darn sturdy, so it doesn't look like it's going anywhere. And again, it's done up in that white color. Your ankle collar is going to be almost 2 pieces, looks like, where it is going to be both a, again, kind of a, like I say, not completely open cell mesh, but it is going to be a kind of a smaller open cell mesh that is going to be done up to almost give you a stacked look. So you have a pull tab here, then you have another collar. This kind of seems like it's almost like a booty system, but not quite. Just kind of a design aspect of the shoe, which does actually feel really nice on foot. Now going into the sneakers, get the paper out of here. We're going to have our, I guess that's going to be the London Cloud is going to be the inside, because it's kind of a grayish sock liner. And getting into that, you have a pretty nice insole. I'm not sure what it's made of, if it's something they just made themselves or if it's they use Ortholite, I'm not sure. But it's not super thick, but it is still very squishy. So very comfortable. When I put my foot in the shoe, I expected it to be a little bit stiffer, just looking at how chunky the shoe was, but it actually has a very, very nice feel to it just immediately when you step into it. And that's, again, probably because of this insole. And then also, you're gonna have a really nice strobel here. I think the strobel's done in like a leather. Again, I'm gonna try to get closer looks for you guys, but it's gonna be a strobel that has the Notwoways branding kind of pressed throughout it, so it's very creative. I haven't seen such a creative strobel board on any shoe, honestly, so that's really cool to me. Now, that's going to be one of the only pops of color you get on this shoe, the orange strobel, which you will never see because your foot's going to be on top of the insole here. But another pop is going to be the sizing tag here, which again, we're going to have that UK 9 and the US men's 10. And speaking of sizing there, they actually do run true to size. I was looking at the shoe like, man, this may be a little big on foot once I put it on. That thought was gone. These fit perfectly for me. True to size, in my size, US men's 10. I say, even with the wide footer, I mean, this shoe does not constrict at any point. It's actually very comfortable all the way around. So I would even say a wide footer, try your true size. I mean, I know it's always typical to go half size up just to be sure, but I'm not too mad at the construction. As you guys can see, it's not a skinny shoe. It does have some width to it, so it's probably gonna, conform to that wider fit if needed. Now, what's really impressive to me is that with this sneaker, they use their own sole kit. It is not a pre-made like Vibram or any of those brands out there. This is actually something they created. They created their own last, which that's pretty pricey from my understanding. And also looking at some older reviews from, I think it was Elliot Page, if I'm not mistaken, he was mentioning that, oh no, I'm sorry, not Elliot, it was Sean Go. It was Sean Go's review I was looking at. He was saying that they actually even altered the last a bit from some of the older models because they had a bit of a higher elevation on the heel, and it kind of pushed you forward, but he was saying that they actually lowered them. So they've actually been very good about listening to their customers from what I'm understanding from other reviews I've used to research the sneaker. And again, putting it on feels perfect to me. Again, a little heavier because it is gonna be all leather and then a chunky midsole, but I am very impressed by this shoe. It's gonna be a Phylon midsole, so you're gonna have some comfort there. And with the sneaker, you're going to have from the Phylon midsole that goes to this really rugged rubber outsole that's done up in all white as well. Then it has your Notwoways branding right here towards the forefoot in the sneaker. Now, this is really cool because they didn't cop out and give you just kind of some just halfway done traction. This is some good traction here. It really reminds me of, let me grab these real fast. I'm still here, guys, not leaving. But it reminds me of how thick the traction on something like, again, a trail shoe. I have a pair of Solomon's here. Look at that traction here, and then look how thick the traction is here. Two very different shoes, but it still gives you that look and that thought of a trail shoe, which really is versatile throughout everything people like, the styles that are going on right now, from, again, high fashion, chunky dad, trail, all wrapped up into one nice clean package. And on foot, this is actually a pretty sleek shoe. You'd think it's just overbearing and just too chunky, but it is actually a pretty sleek shoe. I still have some size to it. It gives you the ability to wear with different things like, I guess joggers, sweats, cargos, which you guys are probably seeing me wear right now with this on foot. So I honestly have to say, I guess I'm really impressed. I am very happy with the shoe. I really do appreciate the team over at Notwoways for sending them over, and I didn't know what to expect, and I am thoroughly impressed by this sneaker. And to really top it off, the price point, 110 pounds, British pounds, which equals to about 135 US dollars, and you're getting something with this kind of quality. Again, one of those things you just can't, you can't beat. So let me know what you guys think about these. Again, I'm putting a link down below. They do release on July 9th, but again, I've heard they go fast, so please keep your eyes open for them. But let me know what you think about them. Do you like them? Do you not like them? Have you had them before? Let me know down below. And until next time, see ya.